Hi, everybody. So we're 2 minutes to get started to begin the webinar today, and I'm going to give it just a minute or two before we get rolling. I'm testing a couple of things as well to make sure that we're good on signal and that I have some good bandwidth here. So I see people popping on, and I know there are some of you that are super excited. I've gotten lots of messages the last couple of days about this webinar, and so trust me, if you're excited, you cannot imagine how excited I am. This has been a long time coming to get the Institute open and to share this method of functional health coaching with you guys so that we can help more people make a bigger impact in the world. So we're at 11:59 right now. I'm going to close down a couple of windows and then we're going to get started. So I would like to check in with people that are on Zoom right now. If you can tell me that you can see and hear me, that would be fabulous. You can type in the chat that you can hear me and that everything is good on your end. And I know that Kathy, my right-hand man, is going to be on today. Hi, Kim and Tirza, that's a pretty name. Rose, I see all of these people popping in saying all good, awesome. Yay, okay, so I'm going to check and make sure that Kathy Riley is on with me. I don't see her name yet, but she is reliable and I know she's going to be with me. She's going to help lead us through some of the links that I'm going to share with you guys today and answer some questions if you guys are talking in the chat, which is totally fine. I encourage you to engage. There might be some current students that have already taken the course for the Institute, and if they may chime in and share information with you today as well. Hi, Kerrigan. No, I am not wearing a hat today. Today, I actually had time to comb and wash my hair. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Carmen Hunter. I'm the founder of the Institute for Functional Health Coaching. And I have created a method of coaching that allows health coaches to help anyone with any problem, with any goal, any condition, any issue whatsoever. There is no one out there that we cannot help. And I know that this goes beyond what a lot of people have been telling you, maybe the things that have been marketed to you about having to have a niche and having to know exactly who you're talking to. And there are times that is important, absolutely. But in the situation, or in the case of functional health coaching, it's really all about learning how to deliver information and how to be that person that ends the overwhelm. And we're going to talk about all of that today. Now, this webinar is going to go for quite a bit. It's going to be a little bit longer than an hour because I have so much that I want to cover with you. But I want to start first and foremost by basically just thanking you for being here. And I honor your time, and I hope to be a very good steward of that and stay on track with everything today. Now, the other thing I want to say is I'm a fast talker. Lots of you know that already. I have some of you in my mentorship group that are interested in the Institute. You know my speed and my style. If I'm ever talking too fast, just tell me. I'll be checking on the chat here and there just to make sure all signals are good and everything's going. So just say, Carmen, can you slow it down? I'll do my best. But I'm a Midwesterner. It's kind of been my style all my life to be quick. The other thing I wanted to also say is that I want to take a moment to honor all of the people in our country today that are out there helping those that are in need. We have so much going on in our world, in Colorado with the fires, Oregon with the fires, and in California, and the hurricanes in Houston, and the hurricane coming to Florida. And I know many of our coaches are out there they're battening down the hatches. I got a lot of messages today that said they couldn't make it because they were evacuating their properties. And I just want to say a really big thank you to all of the volunteers and the people that are opening their homes, their hearts, their time, and their energy to help people that are in need today. And then also to send up a prayer. And even if you're not a religious person, whatever you believe in, I hope that you're sending good energy out to those who are in need today. And if you have a door to open to give of your time, to give of your space in your home to people in need, I really encourage you to think about doing that. We never know when we're going to be in need or when we're going to need to reach out to strangers to help us as well. The other thing I want to just remind you is what we do in this world as health coaches and what we give to the people in this world, it always comes back to us. So, when you're practicing in your business, when you're building your business, do it with authenticity, with integrity. Be a cheerful giver to the world. And I promise you that you can build a practice that you love, but you have to do it in a way that feels good to you and honors those around you and in your life. So let's go ahead and get started with the webinar for today. And there's Kathy. Hi, Kathy. Yes, and I know you're in the storm's path, and I can't thank you enough for being here. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to check in with Kathy to make sure, hang on just a moment, that that everything's good. You guys can see my slides. Hold on a moment. Here we go. And I'm going to hit play in just a moment. Right now, you're probably seeing my presenter notes. Kathy, are we good? Let's see. And it's telling me that my internet connection is unstable, so let's give it a minute. Looks good. Okay, perfect. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I just want to remind you that anytime you're on a webinar, you guys, and the host actually drops off for any reason whatsoever, there could be a lost connection for some reason or other. And I don't know why my nose is itching, excuse me. Woo! But it just stay put, okay? Don't drop off just because I'm gone. If it happens, I can pop right back in. I just need time to sign up and sign in, okay? All right, so today the webinar is called How to Be a Successful Health Coach by Ignoring What Most of the experts in health coaching schools are telling you. And I'm gonna open my window here one more time, just making sure. Okay, good. All right, I'll check in halfway and make sure we're good. I like to try and stay on track, but so today I picked this title, and I've done this. This is, if you were on this webinar before, that was for the early enrollment, where I did a really big discount and promotion. It was kind of a soft open to get the word out about what was coming. But I picked this title because I want to get real with you guys, whether you're an existing health coach or a new aspiring coach, which we have tons of you out there right now, which I'm really excited about because we need more of us. But honesty and transparency are really two things. And let me go ahead and hide my little window here, you guys, because it is a distraction for me. Hold on just a moment. Hold on a second. Sorry about this. It's easier if I can just stop my video, and that way I don't have to see myself talking. But okay, so basically, you know, we're dealing with experience today. I'm speaking to you from complete experience, over 7 years in this industry before health coaching became a mainstream thing or really had the words of health coaching behind it. And standing out as a health coach, it takes so much more, you guys, than having a pretty picture of yourself holding a juice or leaping through the waves of the ocean talking about yoga. It is so much more than that, especially when we're dealing with chronic conditions and problems people are dealing with or going through today. I know you're seeing the same marketing that I'm seeing because I am still an active health coach. I did not just drop my practice to start marketing to coaches and open the school. That's one of the reasons why I'm really excited about this, is because I still coach clients. I'm still learning what works for them. I'm still fine-tuning everything that we're doing because the world is always changing. And I believe that I have to stay active in this business to understand what coaches are dealing with every day. Now, the cookie cutter approach of health coaching that I'm always found to be talking about is basically when you are handing out the same plan, elimination diets, juices, cleanses, and saying, you know, let's get back to me after you've lost your weight or met your goal and let's see where you are. I just don't believe that that is the best way to coach. I'm not sure why this is the path that people are taking. Maybe coaches don't know where to begin, but functional health coaching is a lot more than that. You want to stand out. You want to solve problems and create that practice that's built on results, not trendy Band-Aids that don't create that sustainable outcome and things that people are going to go back to that old lifestyle once they've reached a goal. And you wouldn't be here today if you didn't want more for yourself. So let's just do a quick reminder here, you guys, that everything you learned today is purely educational, based on my experience. Nothing I'm telling you is to be taken as prescriptive for your business, your clients, or yourselves. And just refer to my terms and conditions if you want to know more. So my goal for you guys today is to make sure you have a full understanding what you don't need, what you do need in order to be a successful health coach. How to build your business, what you need to build your business, as well as an understanding of what a skilled health coach can really accomplish when you're working with clients and running groups. I'm also going to make sure you have a clear understanding of the differences between health coaching approaches so that you can make an educated decision about what's going to work best for you. Now, this is the thing. When you stay until the end, I like to give. I'm a big giver. Last time I said I was going to give away 1 enrollment, and I ended up giving away 3. But if you stay to the end, throughout the webinar, I'm going to be saying a secret word. And at the end, I'm going to tell you what the word is. And the first person to type that word in the chat or on Facebook, I'm going to look at both of them, and it will be chosen by time listed. They're going to get the free enrollment. I will announce that in the replay email. Okay, so no worries about finding out who it is today. The replay email is going to go out within the hour. So I'm also going to walk through the Institute for Functional Health Coaching's curriculum. You're going to be able to see what we're all about and you know, basically just kind of give you a run through of what all 17 weeks contains. So what makes this training or this coaching different? What makes this approach different? So I'm going to encourage you right now to turn off everything you're distracting yourself with, whether you've got another screen up and you're typing or you're blogging or maybe you're on Facebook and you're reading news feeds. I want you to pay close attention to this information I'm going to share with you. What makes this training different is that I'm going to show you the truth about what's needed. There's nothing fancy or flashy behind what I'm telling you. This is just the facts. I want to save you money. I want to save you time. So I'm going to be talking to you about different health coaching trainings that are offered to you. How you can, like I said, coach anyone with any problem without tons and tons of time spent learning about conditions and theories and diseases. And I'm going to teach you how to do this in a safe way. So if you've watched any of my videos, you've attended any of my webinars, I have been leading the way in the safety in the health coaching profession for the last couple of years. It is my foundation for everything I teach about health coaching. We have to do this safely. We have to do this consistently. We have to have a low-risk practice so that we can feel comfortable with what we're doing with our clients. I am also completely transparent and 100% honest. My bottom line doesn't matter with this. It's all about how to help health coaches succeed. That's what matters to me, because if you guys succeed and you create a business you love, other people get well and they become healthier. It's really quite simple. If I sat on this webinar today and I blew up your time with a bunch of lies and exaggerated things and talked about things that I don't know work or don't believe in, it's not really helping people. I'm going to give you tools that actually help people today. So this is who I am. I've already told you a little bit about it. I am an active health coach. I have over 7 years of experience coaching one-on-one and in groups. I have over 4 years of mentoring and educating coaches, coming up on 5. I'm a master health investigator, and due to my own story of chronic condition and chronic illness and chronic pain that I dealt with for years, I have the ability to really uncover real barriers to coaches' success and help them overcome them. And I'm a truth teller. And, you know, I'm still, when I say I'm actively coaching clients, I literally will take a client, and if they say to me, I have fatigue and I have depression or I have acne or I have this, I don't go, oh, okay, well, here's take out all these inflammatory foods and let's do this. I like to get underneath it. I like to provide some resources and support to get them some relief from whatever's bothering them. But we take it deeper and we say, now, where's it coming from? Because once we accomplish some relief for them with them, we don't want it to come back. We want to find out why it happened in the first place. So I can tell you exactly what it's like, because I've worked with hundreds and hundreds of diseases and conditions, and I've been able to help and make a difference in every single client's life. Even if it's a small change up to the very biggest ones I've seen where people haven't left their house in over a decade and are now traveling around the world, able to live with a disease of Crohn's in remission, things like that. So I've worked with the hard clients. I can also see, like I said, through the health coaching challenges, just by reading a post, I can see where someone might have a barrier. And I love to get down underneath and help people come up with names of programs, why they might be blocked. You know, I can see so much in the sentences that they're sharing. And I'm very passionate about helping people overcome those things. And the last but not least, I am a truth teller. And this is a story I've told already before, but I'll tell it again. I have such a conscience. My mom always tells me it's to a fault. So she used to tell me that, but now she understands why. This hot dog, what does it have to do with truth telling? And this is about the real quick story of when my mom was having a garage sale and I was little. I think I was, you know, I know I was under 10 years old, but I was walking out at the tables looking at everything and saying, you know, I saw this hot dog turner and it's aging me. I'm 46. And back in the day, we had these little things you stuck hot dogs on and they turned them and heated them. And I said, why are you selling this? It doesn't work. It's been broken forever. And my mom gave me like the look of death. Like, are you kidding me? And I did the same thing with a car we were trying to sell. I told the people it was a lemon. So in other words, you guys, I don't have a reason to lie, exaggerate truths, or tell you things that aren't going to help you. It's just part of my nature, good or bad. It's just who I am. So let's talk about what a health coach really is. A health coach to me is someone who is able to meet a client where they are and take them to where they want to be, but doing it in a low stressful way, in a way that doesn't make that client feel judged, stressed out, sicker, hopeless, helpless, all of the things that I have felt in my life. And I've worked with clients that have felt that way, that have come from a doctor's office or a practitioner's office and said, I'm done. I don't even know what else to do. I never want to see another doctor again. I have no hope. And I want to say, and I want to tell them right off the bat, please, don't drop the hope. We have hope. But what I say to them is, let's just start with where you are in this moment today. And let's find out where you're looking to be. And let's find a way to approach this that doesn't make you feel worse about your life, right? To me, that's what a health coach is all about. So what do we do? So what does a health coach really do? In my opinion, a functional health coach approach is a coach who should be able to investigate those conditions and concerns, like I just told you about a moment ago, and deliver information to the client in a way that is not prescriptive, it's not diagnostic, but it's supportive and empowering at the same time. And I always say we are not doctors, dietitians, or nutritionists. We are health seekers, putting together the pieces of someone's health puzzle and helping support them while they make those sustainable changes. It is all about helping that client to feel accountable, inspired, and empowered to make the changes in their life that they need to make to reach the goals and overcome the conditions that they're dealing with. I'm hoping this is all making sense to you guys. And again, put your questions in the feed in Facebook, put your questions in the chat box. You know, I'm gonna make sure I answer everything. We're not gonna hop off today till all questions are answered. So what kind of an income can I expect? So I'm not going to tell you you're going to make six figures. That is something that actually just makes me want to throw up. I'm tired of hearing that promise. I'm tired of seeing it. I've actually started calling some of these people out on Facebook that are saying you can make six figures in the first month. It's bull. I'm not even going to tell you you can make five figures. The truth of this business is it depends. It depends on what kind of demographic you've got you're working with. It depends on where you're located. It depends on what kind of program you offer, how much time you're investing. There's so many variables to what kind of income you can expect that just telling you you're going to make 5 or 6 figures is a lie. It's not the truth. And let me tell you something else. It takes work and commitment to build this business. So, for example, if you had one-on-one sessions, I'm going to give you an example of how you can limit yourself or you can expand yourself. If you started working one-on-one with clients, you've obviously got some limited time there. We're never going to have more time in a day. Everyone's got the same amount of time allotted to them. And you must charge with ethics, I believe. You wouldn't want to ask for $1,000 per session as a brand new coach with no experience and hardly any services to answer, right? You want to be ethical with that fee. You want to make sure that it follows what you feel good about charging someone and asking for in return. So you would limit yourself with a one-on-one clients, and that's fine. I did that for years. I didn't do group coaching for a long time because my income was supplemental. So as I became more passionate and I got more excited about what I was able to do and the people I was able to reach, I started, my business grew so quickly and I had so many people that I was doing one-on-one, I started to feel that emotional, physical burnout. And I was also not charging what I should have been charging. So I was feeling a little bit bitter about the income that I was lacking from the people that I was helping. So I had to really revamp my idea of what I should do with my business. And that's where teaching groups and classes and memberships and all of those things came into play for me. And I believe that that should be a part of how a coach grows their business if they want to make a good income in this business. Because you're not really, when you think about teaching groups and classes, it's so, you've got a bigger impact, you can reach more people, you can make more money. It's a lot more fun sometimes. And it doesn't have such an emotional taxing feeling on you when you're able to offer support through those peers and through each other. So we teach all of that in the Institute. We talk about passive income, affiliate marketing, and other ways that you can increase your income besides just the one-on-one. So what kind of business opportunities are out there for health coaches? Working for yourself, of course, is one main attraction to being a coach. Set your hours, be your own boss. It's one of the things I absolutely love about what I do. I work from home. My cub mates or my cube mates here are 3 little Basset Beagle rescues, and sometimes my son if he's home. And I love it. I love that I can leave my house and take him to school in the morning and pick him up in the afternoon. Although there are some people who want to get out of the home and they want to work in a business or in partnership. They need that camaraderie. So you can also think about being a contractor in a chiropractor's office. You can think about working in a practitioner's office or doing corporate training athletes at CrossFit gyms on food and sleep and stress and all of those things. You can provide training for staff members at smaller businesses. There are endless opportunities as a health coach. You just kind of know how to do this in a way that makes sense, that keeps you safe, and is a consistent and general approach. So a lot of people are saying, oh, you know, it's just not a good time to be a health coach. There's so many of them. Well, let me tell you, there are more sick people than there are health coaches, and it is the best time to get into this business right now. It is getting better and better every single day. We are at the front end of a boom in this industry, in the wellness and health and wellness profession, and health coaching is becoming more and more mainstream, and we're becoming more appreciated. The only thing that concerns me about how much more attention we're getting is our credibility. The more coaches step outside our scope of practice, the harder it is for people like me who practice a functional approach to maintain my credibility. So I attend a huge summit every year, and I talk about it openly. I go to Mindshare. JJ Virgin started this event, Mindshare, where some of the leading health and wellness professionals in the industry, we all gather from around the world, and we talk about everything that has to do with health, technology, all of the things that we need to do to make a bigger difference in the world. It's my favorite event every year that I attend. And Talk of Health Coaches was all over this event this year. There was over 400 attendees. I got the opportunity of sitting down and meeting so many amazing people, but also heard on the other side of things that some of these practitioners, doctors, and people in this business are concerned about where health coaches feel they belong and whether or not they know their scope of profession. Doctors don't want coaches in their space. They want to make sure, and by that I mean they don't want them to act as doctors. They would love to have health coaches working within their practice, some of them, because they would take such a load off of them. But if they step outside of that scope and they try to diagnose and prescribe, that is stepping outside the boundaries, and that is not cool, not at all. I would never try to act like a doctor or a practitioner. All right, so the chat window's lighting up. I want to make sure, hold on a second, that is everything good? Okay, good. Yeah, okay, so it looks like, Kaylee, that might be your setting on seeing the chat. That happened on one of the other webinars, and it was just a single person. They couldn't see the chat box. Okay, so how can I be successful as a health coach? Well, you can become a successful health coach by listening to the advice of someone who cares about your success, someone who's walked through your struggles, someone who has built a successful practice, and really cares about where we're going in this industry and what a health coach can really, really do and accomplish. You will not get real tools for success to be an actual health coach by listening to people who have never coached clients, who really don't have any idea how to be an investigative health coach, how to work from a functional approach, or build their business from the ground up. Success really comes from having passion, you guys. You've got to have the drive. You've got to have that resilience when sometimes you're low in client count, or you've run up against a wall, or maybe your technology bombs in the middle of one of your presentations or something like that. You've got to be determined to make it in this business and have a really positive, healthy mindset about what you're able to do with the knowledge that you have. You've really got to know that you can make a difference, but you've also got to have that system that works. So I'm, again, complete transparency. I feel like I've done a lot of things really right during my health coaching career. Like I trusted that I had enough knowledge. After studying health and wellness and the mind-body perspective, I literally got my first mind-body book from my mom when I was a teenager. But I've been studying it since the 90s. So, over 20 years of really digging into anatomy, physiology, cellular health, mitochondrial health, all of the things that I just love to geek out on. After all of those years of studying, I knew I had enough knowledge, and I knew I had enough passion inside of me to make this work. I had enough business sense because I used to manage a large restaurant with 60 employees. My customer service that is one of the things I focus on the most, and my team is exceptional at, and I carry all of that experience into what I do today. I knew that I had to have protection, like licenses, disclaimers, insurance, and a system. I really found out early on that I had to dump that idea that I had to have one targeted market, one niche to focus on. I realized that outsourcing was going to be one of the keys to my success because I was getting quickly very busy, but also overwhelmed. And I really trust my instincts. When I'm working with people and in my life in general, I trust my instincts, and I pay really close attention to what feels good for me. But then I also teach my clients to do the same thing. And that was something I learned early on. You can tell a client to do something all day long that worked for you, but if they don't tap into their instincts and pay attention to their own gut about what they need, they are not going to find sustainable and lasting change and reach their goals. They're just not. They're going to be doing something just because a health coach tells them to. And that's the exact opposite of what we want them to do. So let's talk about what I've done wrong. And that list seems to be a lot longer. I'm looking at the list. It's a lot longer because I did a lot of things that didn't make a whole lot of sense. And trust me when I tell you the head slap on this, if you could see me, like I'm banging my forehead with my palm on how much time I spent on each client session, thinking I had to have all these different certifications to be credible, when I found out that you don't really even have to have a so-called specified certification at all because we're not regulated as health coaches. I spent way too much money on the wrong schools and didn't do my homework. I thought I needed to learn more about health conditions and diseases before I was able to help others. I thought I had to overcome my own condition of Hashimoto's and be perfectly healthy before I was able to help others. I didn't focus enough on the business aspects. No one even told me that that was important, that I was first an entrepreneur and then I was a health coach, which I really encourage you to think about. I spent too much time learning about all of the pieces of working online when I should have just hired someone to do a lot of it and then had someone hold my hand to teach me how. I spent thousands and thousands of dollars in the wrong products and training, and I had no idea how gray the area was between coaching and looking as if I was trying to be a dietitian, a nutritionist, or a doctor. Now, I learned quickly. That's one of the bonuses of me. Once I learn something, I'm on it, I make changes, and I improve everything. So all of the things that I did wrong, I made changes, and I became successful because of those changes and those, being able to acknowledge that I was doing things wrong. So after doing that for 7 years, this is what I accomplished in changing things. I learned how to help any client with any problem every time, which saved me 75% of my time. So an example, if I spent an hour and 45 minutes working on a client's follow-up recommendations, once I instilled this system, I dropped that down to 15 minutes per client. I don't even know if that's 75%. I mean, maybe it's more, but I dropped it down so rapidly. I would sit around thinking, what can I do? So I started to create content. I realized my passion and knowledge and that I can help others with, it's the most important part of it is how much passion do you have and how do you use that in a way that makes sense? I really dropped the belief I wasn't enough. I also dropped the belief that I couldn't afford to invest in my business because when I had that limiting belief about money, I didn't have as many clients. I didn't make as much money. The minute I dropped that belief, my client list grew and so did my income. I have created the lowest risk approach to helping people in the health coaching business today. I've even taught this approach at other schools and institutions across the country. I help transform clients see themselves in a totally different way and their future as well, and change how they are able to even raise their children and help their families, and created and instilled a sustainable hope in their lives. So don't get me wrong here. I'm not saying like every single client I put my so-called magic wand on healed or anything like that. I don't even use the word heal. But every client saw results and benefits, which that's always going to happen if the client is committed to themselves and to changing the things that aren't working for them. It's up to us to help them see stress differently. It's one of those things that I really focus on is stress as well. And I mentioned that early on in the webinar. It's one of the things I really try not to do is stress my clients out. And so I'm going to show you just an example of what being accountable, what a client looks like that is accountable for themselves. So I built my waiting list practice on people just like this person right here. This is someone that I used to do CrossFit with. She's moved away since. But she was really struggling with her energy and she came to me in class and said, what can I do? And I said, I can't just give you advice. It's against, my scope of profession to just tell you what to do, first of all. And there's some liability with this. So why don't you just reach out to me? Let's do a free 15-minute consultation. Let's see what we can do. But I want you to pay attention here and look at the yellow areas where she is talking about what I did for her. She's saying she listened and acknowledged. She worked with me. She encouraged me to. This person totally got the idea of being accountable. So, I built this low risk practice based on 100% referrals in the first, I would say probably 5 years. And I've been doing this for over 7. So the first 5 years, total referrals. I had no idea about marketing and advertising until after I'd been a coach for several years and realized I wanted to move online and I had to start learning more about that. And someone in my Mindshare group recently said that people don't buy from you for what you know, they buy from you for what you can do for them. This is I found this to be true over and over again, and a real light bulb went over my head when I heard that the other day, it's been 8 weeks or something like that, but I want to put this in perspective here. So if you're working with a client, I want to say it like this where a health coach can understand. A client won't hire you because of what you know, they hire you because of what you can do for them. They have no idea why grass-fed beef is higher in omega-3s. Do they really, really want to know about that before they know what you can do to help them feel better from whatever they're dealing with? No, they don't. So this testimony above is a perfect example of safe delivery and support and why people are looking for you and what you can offer. They're not looking at what you know, and I'm doing air quotes around that. So I discovered all of these things the hard way, and I'm giving you, the steps here to just escape all of the mistakes, get away from it, and giving you a real plan for success. So we've already talked about some of the mistakes I made, but the hard way is that, you can fall victim to other promises made by other schools and institutions. That's the hard way you can do this. You can spend months and waste thousands of dollars to study theories and conditions, which basically you can learn that stuff on Google. The hard way is not to focus on business building. Remember, you have to be an entrepreneur to build a business unless you're going to contract or work with someone in their business. And even then, it still takes marketing and business proposals to get hired for those things. You can meet every client in person, which is a time sucker, and I teach you how not to do that. You can think that clients care about the letters behind your name, but they don't. Another way that you can do this the hard way is don't coach at all, because you have no confidence, and that happens all the time. I have people hire me just to get them past the hump of believing they have enough confidence or knowledge to do this. Coaching outside your scope of practice is not a good idea, and that can actually set you up for real failure really early on in your business. Signing up for too many trainings that don't matter. I can't tell you how many people say, if I see one more summit, I'm going to pull my hair out. And I'm here to tell you, don't sign up for it if you don't want to watch it or learn. You've got other things to do with your business. I could go on and on, but I've already been through all of these issues I'm naming. And again, I didn't know what was underneath all these fancy ads and all of these things telling me what I had to have. I didn't understand, I didn't know, so I made a lot of mistakes financially and physically with my time. So let's talk about the easier way to becoming a successful health coach. It doesn't cost over $5,000, take up 6 months of your time, and so on. If you want to prevent yourself from making those common mistakes that hold you back and prevent success, then let's just, hang in there. And as a reminder, you guys, I've got a word I'm going to share. There's a free enrollment coming. Knowing me, I'm probably going to throw another one in there because I just love to give. It's part of what I do. And I want you to think about, wouldn't you rather build a practice you feel good about that makes you money? It sets you apart from other coaches out there and shows other people in this industry that you know where you belong. Okay, so real quick, the disclaimer on this, what I'm about to talk about, depends on your ability to commit to your own success and believe that you have what it takes to implement what you learn and expedite the process in a general way that applies to anyone who wants to work with you. So I'm not promising you anything because it all depends on you. Just like our clients, we don't promise them anything. It depends on whether they believe that they can be committed to themselves and that they know they're accountable to themselves only. All right, now remember this before I go any further. Keep in mind what I said earlier. Clients are not going to hire you for the knowledge you have about health conditions. They're going to hire you for what you're able to do for them and to help them achieve. Think about whether or not a simple elimination diet or supplement or food plan is going to help them achieve results while I tell you about the following mistakes. So just think about that. Handing someone something like a supplement that's going to help with hot flashes and sending them on their way may make a difference in the short term, but is it a sustainable thing that's going to help them in their future? All right, let me do a quick check-in here. I'm going to check in the chat because I see it lighting up. And again, any questions, put them in the Q&A, put them in the chat box. I want to make sure. Okay, is everybody hearing me okay? Kathy, give me a, yeah, we're good still? Yep, okay, thanks. And I'm going to get names right, I promise you. I'm terrible when people have a different name. They're always so pretty, but I'm terrible and I butcher them. So I apologize. Tirza, I think, is what said yes. All right, so the 4 mistakes. Mistake number 1, wasting your time pursuing a certification that only teaches you, again, about dietary theories and conditions. Mistake number 2, being that cookie cutter approach who doesn't know how to help your clients transform your health. You only put a Band-Aid on the problem or the symptom or the goal. Mistake number 3, putting a bunch of money into marketing when you really don't even know what you're marketing about yourself. Mistake number 4, not having a system in place that shows you know where you belong and that you know how to practice a general approach. This is what experts are teaching you to do, you guys, but most of the time these experts are not health coaches, okay? They're marketers, they're salespeople, they're just trying to build their business most of the time based on what they think you need. So again, let's talk here for just a moment. You know what? You can Google anything, and that's not a news flash for you guys. The truth is, your money should be spent, and your time, where it matters. Spend it where it matters. Learning a proven low-risk coaching method and not wasting time and money only to learn about things you can simply type into Google and get some general ideas on. Not saying that's how you're supposed to learn about health conditions and theories and all that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that there are reliable ways to learn and gain knowledge about conditions and theories. You don't have to spend $8,000 to do that. But most coaches, their schools are teaching theories and conditions, and they're saying that these things are important. You have to know them. And yes, they're important to an extent, but you've got to know how to build a business, and you've got to know how to help people in a way that makes sense. Because you can have all the knowledge about health in the world, but if you don't have a system and you don't have the knowledge of a general approach and templates and things to support that approach in your business, you're going to reinvent the wheel. You're going to do all the mistakes that I did. You're going to get stuck in analyzing what to do next. You'll probably feel lost and overwhelmed. You'll probably throw too many balls up in the air. Maybe you might even try to quit. You might even think that it's not for you, but let me tell you that it is. Because right now, as I mentioned earlier, health coaching is not regulated. So a certification, as I mentioned, isn't so-called necessary to coach, but you do have to have a system. You do have to have a method of delivery that makes sense to make this business work for you. There's no doubt about it. I have mentored and taught way too many coaches that are already certified, that are coming from different schools, but they had no idea about what their state color was, how to deliver the information, how to actually help a client that's dealing psychologically, emotionally, and physically with real problems. So when you waste thousands of dollars studying diseases and conditions at other institutions, you may have that ton of knowledge again, but no idea how to deliver it to your clients. You can learn everything there is to learn about leaky gut, right? You could know everything about it. You could have gone to SCD and learned everything about their protocol for fixing it and so on and so forth. But do you know how to deliver that information so the client feels low stress and they feel like they are being supported and they understand that you are not telling them what to do? If you don't know that, then that is a problem. If you end up coaching, and you may end up using language and coaching clients in a legal manner. And many coaches will not even begin to coach after spending that money. I've seen it. I cannot tell you how many times I've seen it. The majority of my students have already come from other schools, and they had to take this course just to get started. But when you learn a safe and effective coaching method, a functional coaching method from us, you don't have to waste 6 months studying conditions. You could easily learn for free on Google. You can work with any client who comes to you, regardless of their problem. You can help people really transform their health and the health of their family and friends. You know how to stay in your scope of practice. And one more time, let me just be clear. I'm not saying that Google's the place to get reliable health information. In fact, I created a document with over 250 resources of the top professionals and wellness people in this world for you guys to use. So you don't even have to think about Googling things. It's right there in your hands. All right, mistake number 2, talking about that cookie cutter health coach approach. And I've done webinars on this. I've done videos on this. I've done training on it. You've got to be able to go beyond that approach and help your clients get to the root of their health issues. So an example might be this. Coach A is a cookie cutter health coach with no experience in functional approach that we teach. They might put their client on an elimination diet. They may say, well, you've got a thyroid problem, so stop eating raw broccoli. And the client may be like, okay, great. Now I can't eat anything I love, and I can't have raw vegetables, and they're going to feel a little bit more stressed, right? Coach B is trained through the Institute in a functional approach. And we would ask that client, what feels the least stressful? And let's start there, because we're going to work on all areas of your life. We're going to start with the 7 foundations of health, but we're going to do this in a way that feels manageable to you. Who do you think that client is going to be working with? Who do you think, A or B? Who the client's going to say, oh, I want to feel stressed out and I want to take away everything I love? Or are they going to say, you know what, that sounds great. Let's start with where I am, and I appreciate the support and the inspiration that I can do this in a manageable way. To me, and I've been that stressed out client, and I've been that stressed out that client that also knew how to do this in a way that felt good to me. I had to create my own approach to start living in a better way, because I couldn't find anyone to do it for me. Everyone wanted to take everything away from me, and it just stressed me out even more and made things worse. So let's go over, when you practice cookie cutter health coaching, it's such a tongue twister. You don't stand out from thousands of other coaches. You can turn off clients who are looking to turn their health around. Your clients really don't feel like you're there to help them. You're just handing them things. Your clients become stressed and overwhelmed and may not complete their sessions. Again, overwhelmed. Your clients don't have the tools to sustain their progress, so the changes they make may not be sustainable. Your reviews and testimonials will not be as good, because someone's not going to want to give a testimonial when they feel stressed out. And even if they go through an elimination protocol and they reach results, by the time that plan is over with, if someone were to say to them, oh, you worked with a health coach, what was that like? They might even say, it was horrible, because they took away everything that I loved. I was stressed the whole time. Yeah, I feel a little bit better, but still it was horrible. Now, you're probably not going to get a great testimonial from someone like that. So they're less likely to refer you out to others. But when you practice functional health coaching, which is an investigative approach, your clients feel at ease with changes taking place in their lives. And at ease is the key here. Your clients experience better results that are sustainable. Your clients have tools to sustain those changes after completing the coaching. They are more confident. They feel empowered to speak for their needs with their doctors. They leave rave reviews about your services, and they refer you to your friends. And the whole world finds better health faster. So I'm speaking from experience, you guys. I've done this and over and over and over again. I've done it over and over again, and that is the end result every single time. So here's another testimonial right here. All of the highlighted areas are examples of a person that's taking accountability and commitment and knowing that they are the person that's making decisions. That's what we want. We want the client to know that they're making decisions. They are accountable. We are just that person that's delivering the things to them that are going to make sense to get them where they want to be. They're making the choice. So this is an example of a client that I actually did a one-off for in my mentorship group, where I share my clients. They actually get on live and I show them how to work with clients. I teach my people how to do this. So this is just, I think this was probably 8 weeks ago we worked with her. Her name was Allison, and I saw her last week and she is feeling so much better. She still hasn't had a Diet Coke. So she said it's like the biggest, she's never been able to give it up in her whole life. And she could not believe the book that she read. I just recommended the book. I didn't tell her she had to read it or do anything in it. And she's blown away by it. So this is just an example. And this whole session actually lives in the Institute. All of those things will be loaded in to the Institute for Learning from. So you need to focus on building a referral-based practice. It's all about word of mouth, you guys. Remember, you know what? You become that service. So just think about if you went and got your tire changed somewhere and they were awesome, they gave you a discount and they got your car back to you in time, you're going to rave about that place, right? That's the same thing with what we're doing. We want people raving about us, people who feel consistently supported, that made sustainable changes, and they feel like they really got to where they wanted to be. But when you depend on marketing only and you're not really building those relationships, your cost is going to skyrocket to get new clients. Your bottom line is going to plummet because you're spending money on things you don't need to. You're going to get leads from people. That's great, but you may spend a lot of free time doing free consultations and they just don't want to spend the money. That happens quite a bit. You get leads who are time wasters. Basically, they're just kind of digging around trying to get some free information from you on how to overcome their acne or whatever it may be. You spend more time on marketing than really building relationships. When you understand how to build a referral business using this method of functional health coaching, you will spend zero money acquiring new clients. Your bottom line skyrockets, right? Clients seek out your services. They come to the table ready to work with you because they've already heard about you. They have an idea of what this is all about. In a matter of weeks to months, you could have a waitlist practice. Now, again, you've got to be committed. You've got to be resilient. You've got to put the time in. You've got to be passionate and know that you can do it. You create a business that could partner with others to make a bigger difference. How fast your practice builds is only up to you. All right, one more little testimonial here showing you how I teach how to do this. Notice the comment where the big yellow arrow is. She is talking about me, that I tell her at the very beginning of accepting her that I will only invest as much time into that client as they will themselves. I cannot force you to change. The reason I'm sharing these examples with you guys is to let you know that I'm not making this success up. I'm not telling you stories. These are real people that I've worked with over the last 7 years, putting my functional approach into place. So again, you've got to have that step-by-step system. And I'm going to teach you how to do that. The Institute teaches you how to build a referral-based practice. With that system in place, it's a low-stress, proven approach. People feel more confident coming to someone who uses a system to help them find their better health, right? So again, you know, that service that people rave about, that's going to be you. When you don't have that step-by-step system in place, things can go wrong. You have to recreate all the documents you need for each client. And yes, you should have documents to take your clients in. They're called intake forms. I provide all of that in the Institute. Your time spent on each client shoots through the roof. Your cost per hour decreases and you're not able to take on more clients because you're constantly reinventing the wheel. You've got to work harder. Your client experience is going to be poor because you're going to get burned out. It happened to me when I first started coaching. I told you about that earlier. It is a real thing. You probably aren't going to get those good reviews and your time literally becomes not your own. And remember this, we have families and children. Maybe we are, you know, maybe we're coming out of a school right now where our time is just being sucked up everywhere. You know, having a system really eliminates so much stress for you personally as well. When you have a step-by-step coaching system in place, your time spent on each client decreases. It frees up more of your time. You can take on more clients if you want. You reduce your own personal stress. Your clients feel better and they make changes that last a lifetime. So unlike many other schools, and I'm not saying all, but many other schools, the Institute teaches you that system that will, you can work with anybody. And I keep saying that, but I don't think people understand that it doesn't matter what's wrong. I'm going to give you a system that you can use with anyone. So let's talk about, let's give you an example. Client A has polycystic ovarian syndrome and client B wants to lose weight. Two totally different people with different goals. Both clients need those same 7 foundations for health, which I teach in the Institute. To even begin to get well, they're human beings. If you're a human being with a heartbeat, you've got to start with 7 foundations. So we're talking about whole food. We're talking about stress perception, safe movement, otherwise known as exercise, and there is a difference, fun, spirituality, sleep, and addressing unaddressed trauma. So those are the 7 foundations that the Institute is founded on. Every client must start with those 7 foundations before we can even begin to find out what's going on with their health. So whether or not these clients, you know, that are seeing the results, whether their eyes are open to why they needed to change, whether they take action faster than you know, the program says, you know, take your time, let's get educated first, and say they jump in, it doesn't matter. They're going to see those results with their sleep, their mood. Something's going to shift, something's going to improve, and you stop reinventing that wheel. So let's look at some comparisons, because there are tons of health coaching schools out there, and they're popping up left and right. I mean, there are new ones coming up all the time. I got to get a drink of tea, you guys. It's a lot of talking with a dry throat. But I'm going to give you just kind of a rundown. And just as an FYI, this is a real chart. These are facts that are pulled from the school websites or from their customer service. We didn't make any of this stuff up. So here's the Institute for Functional Health Coaching that we're talking about today. This is the institute that I founded. This is the curriculum here. We're going to look at the actual outline in just a moment, but I want you to just kind of glance over curriculum, average tuition, completion time average is about 3 months. And then, you know, when it comes to the consortium, there are people that are asking questions about the consortium, and that's a whole other conversation. But just know that that's a piece that we had to look into because the questions were coming up. All right, here are some other schools that are out there. In the Institute for Integrative Nutrition, Functional Diagnostic Nutrition, the Functional Medicine Coaching Academy, Dr. Sears. So these are really the top schools if you type in health coaching schools that are going to show up. So just take a glance across the average tuition on those, anywhere from $5,000 to $6,000, $7,000. We've got more here. ITN, Bowman College, Health Coach Institute, Holistic MBA, etc. Okay, so we've got schools on here and coach institutes that are up to $10,000. All right, we're looking at some prices that are real prices that are out there today. So what you're going to learn at the Institute for Functional Health Coaching, now this is the good stuff. Now remember, I am saying a word throughout this entire webinar. When I tell you what the word is, you just got to start typing because you could win the free enrollment, okay? Let's look at the curriculum. This is actually pulled from the sales page so you guys can see. And this is truly, we had to brief this to even fit it on the sales page because there's so much. I literally have done, I've probably loaded almost 300 documents in the last couple of months just getting ready for the Institute. That's thousands of resources, you guys, that are in the school. So week 1 is an introduction. And even in the introduction week, you guys are getting tools and action steps to get started. It's your welcome week. You're getting free opt-ins, a Kickstart guide, licensing, taxes, website information, logos, and so on. Now, week 2 is talking about the 3-month approach, what it really looks like, how to set up effective services for one-on-one and groups, and so on. How to set up payments. So many questions about payments. What do you pay? What do you charge? How do you receive payment? I cover all of that, and I give you resources. I don't just say, well, you could use Stripe to get payment. I give you why, and I give you an article that tells you how to make a good decision on what you need for your business. That's with every single topic in the Institute. Now, week 3 is the big week, but about safety. But just know that safety is installed in every single thing I teach. I am going to teach you all through the Institute how to have safety in your profession, mastering your intake, how to write, how to have the written word is safe, how to speak the written word. The word safely. I'm getting tongue-tied here because there's so many words with S's here. And I'm going to teach you how to deliver information in a way that makes sense and that the client knows that you are just giving them the things that can make a difference in their life, but they have to make that decision. It's really all about that, is making sure that they know that. Then there's safety in the client intake process, okay? So these are just, you guys can look at all of this when we're done today. This replay is going to go out. You can freeze it. You can snapshot it, screenshot it. You can go to the sales page to read more. Week 5 is talking about effectively following up with clients, which is one of those things that I don't think anybody's really teaching. How do you do the follow-up? How do you do it in a way that makes sense for your business? How do you provide resources and information so that they can get started on the process of helping themselves? This is an important piece that's being missed. Making the most of your time and making a bigger impact, practicing that general approach. And, I've interviewed and done webinars with Lisa Fraley. She is the health coach attorney that I depend on. And she talks all the time. If you're practicing a general approach, you really have a low risk approach. Well, I teach you how to do that. Week 7, mastering the second client session, really talking about how to go through the steps of education, preparation, and action, which is my signature approach to health coaching. We need to teach them why they need to make those changes. That's the education part. We need to understand what it takes for them to be prepared. That's important. And then how are they going to take action? That's also important. Then there's the exit session, which is really important for you guys because that's where you get testimonials. That's how you find out how you did in your session. What could you improve for your business? Week 9 is mid-course reminders and success barriers. I like to kind of tap in and remind you guys, you know enough, you're good enough. Let's talk about some of the ways that we can stay safe with medication and supplement interaction and so forth. And week 10, we talk about how to make some quicker money with doing one-time food review sessions and so on. Group coaching success. This is the part I talked about earlier on, how this can really increase your income as a health coach. It's a really big piece I believe that every coach needs to be looking into. I'm not saying stop working one-on-one. I'm saying this is in addition to what you're already doing. All right, coaching chronic conditions. So this is something that we are all dealing with, in our lives, with our friends, family, ourselves. You're going to run into this with your clients over and over again. Most of the time someone comes to you. I teach you what a chronic condition really is, how to recognize it, and how to work with people with that problem. Coaching weight loss clients is also another big topic. People think they come to us to lose weight, but really once we start digging in and investigating what's going on, we find out it's so much more than that. It's hormones, it's relationships that's causing them to not be able to lose the weight. So it's important to recognize, how do you help people with that issue, with that weight loss plateau? Understanding lab tests. Notice that I'm not telling you how to diagnose or how to run them or how to order them or any of that kind of stuff. I'm going to teach you how to understand them. I'm going to teach you how to help your clients learn where to order them and who to go to, and how to understand them, how to walk them through so that they can carry this out in their life later on. Week 15, we talk about marketing. Now, I touch on marketing in many different areas, but I also bring experts to you guys about this as well. Launching a program. So this is something I like to tell everybody. I spent $6,200 learning how to launch a program. I hired someone to teach me, and now I am not going to hold your hand through the launching program. I'm not going to teach you that, step by step, or I'd end up charging each person as much as I ended up paying because it is a time-consuming thing. But I teach you the outline and the steps you need to take on how to even begin to understand what it means. Is it something you want to do? And how to get started doing it. I give you all of the details on that, including how-to trainings and so on. And then week 17, safely coaching thyroid clients. I dedicate an entire week to thyroid because I am super, super passionate about it. And so many people are dealing with thyroid problems today. And I bring experts in that you're just going to love. So I feel like the whole week needed to be dedicated to that because it's not just about the thyroid. It's about low iron. It's about estrogen. It's about hormones and so much more. Now, you have access to over 30 plus expert webinars and trainings that are already done for you. So look at the names here, you guys. Joe Tata, Trudy Scott, Nikki Graytrix, Amy Lippman, Laura Adler, Erica Gray, Kathleen Legris, Dr. Lindsay. These are just a couple of the names that are available to you in webinars that are already done. Not to mention, I am creating a brand new exciting Dip Your Toe in the Water program that you guys are going to be blown away by. And I'm going to be bringing, I've got probably 40 people signed up for that right now that are going to be bringing business training, hormone training, trauma training, launching training, energy training, you name it. I'm bringing you everything. And if someone says to me, Carmen, I don't see this training in here, I'd love to know who you would recommend. I'm going to reach out and I'm going to find someone to create and provide training that's going to take things further for health coaches. All right, the light is lighting up here. I just want to make sure everything that I haven't fallen off or anything. Everybody's okay. Good. All right, everybody's hearing me okay? Okay. Let me make sure. Yes, great. Thanks, Kathy. Okay, so let's get down to the nitty-gritty real quick. We are almost on an hour, and I appreciate you guys hanging in there so much. I'm hoping you're finding good value in this. So let's talk about what it really looks like. I'm giving you some real numbers based on my experience and I had to pull out some old files and look at some of my old clients and groups and trainings that then come up some numbers for you guys. And I am terrible at math, so I hope I've got all this right. But this is an example of a 3-month contract, which is what I absolutely 100% see so much reward in for me, not only for me, but the client as well. They get results. It is a great timeline. It holds the client accountable. It keeps them motivated, but it doesn't pressure them at the same time. So I set my business up based on a 3-month contract. I use the education preparation action model. I invested about 5 hours in that 3 months. That includes the sessions that I'm doing with them and the review of their intake and the recommendation write-ups that I told you guys about. At the time, I was charging $275 a month, so I made $875 on this particular client. This person sent me 2 to 3 clients. I write the referrals down because When I write them down, and if that person ever comes back and says, I need a tune-up, I give them a discount because they've been referring people to me. And most of the time, if they return to me for anything, I love to give a discount because they're coming back because they trust me. So the total with that client and the 3 referrals was $3,500. Not bad for a one-on-one. That was one-on-one. At one time, I was working with 12 to 14 clients at a time. So I'm not doing math on that because I don't have a calculator, and Lord, will I botch that one up. But just know this. I started with just one person asking me, how can food help me lose weight? I don't know what's going on here. And I basically just kind of walked her through some resources. She gave up gluten. She lost a few pounds a week. She started going crazy to her friends about how much better she felt, that it was so simple to do this the way that I recommended to her. And then the next thing you know, I got 5 new personal training clients and 3 health coach clients and so on. So people love to talk about what works. They also like to talk about what doesn't. Okay, just keeping that in mind. People love to rave about things that work, but they love to rave about things that don't. So I want you to think about that and be the person that they rave about that help them, okay, not hurt them. Here's an example of a one-time session, which I also teach how to do because these can be really powerful money makers. Time invested in the client, 2 hours. That included a session, an hour-long session, some follow-up, reviewing the intake form. I charged $275 for that. The referral averaged about 2 to 3 clients on that one. And let's see here, we did a grocery store trip as well. So $825 plus the add-on grocery store trip I did with a client, $150. A nice little income for a one-time session, right? And let's look at the one thing that I've been telling you guys about that I think is super, super powerful for making a bigger impact and more money. A group coaching session that I had invested 10 hours in, including the prep, the travel, and the sessions that I spent with them. I charged $225 per person. I had 12 participants in that particular group. That was for 1 month. Every Saturday we met, and I made $2,700 that month. Now, you guys might be thinking, well, that's just a month. That's only $27 a month. Think about if I had run that group, which at the time I had not. I only did this one because it was a beta group that I didn't want to see how it went. Think about if I did that particular template and I ran it 4 times. So take that 4 times to $2,700, and that's your income for a month. That's still 40 hours a week. That's only 40 hours a week. Kathy, do the math on that. Would you throw that in the chat? That's a nice little income, you guys. So this is often where the people make the mistake of thinking you should only run one group. You create a group that is successful. You use that template. You don't even have to rewrite the group. Just use the same template and run it 3-4 times a week. And you're making, what, over $10,000 a month. I mean, it's pretty impressive. So here's what some of the students are saying. Now, I've been teaching this course for over 4 years. So the Institute, this is not the first time I've taught this content. I've done it over and over and over again. And it's finally to the place where I know that this is something big. And Daniela is one person that reinforced that belief for me. She had invested $8,000 in a 9-month group coaching program. She had just made her last payment for, and she came to me. She came to me and got what she needed, and basically she's up and running. And she's someone I'm just super proud of her. She's a go-getter, and she's in my mentor group now. So many of my students have moved into the mentorship group, and I'm able to watch them thrive and grow. It's fun. It's really fun to see everybody succeed. Another one from Luana, you guys. So these are real testimonials, and there are more that exist on the sales page. There's like, I think there's 9 videos. You can listen to real students talking about what this has done for them. And we're coming to the close of the slides. Got a few more minutes, so I appreciate you hanging in there, and I know your time is valuable. But over the last hour, you've learned about the 4 mistakes that are preventing coaches from being successful. Many coaches are really struggling in this business. With this information I'm going to share with you guys and have been sharing, you can save yourself thousands of dollars in months and months trying to figure out how to make this business work in the wrong program, and then basically be done spending the money, be done with the studying, and still not have a business. So I am offering a special opportunity to enroll in the Institute today. And don't forget to stay to the end. Got to say that word. And I've got it written down here because last time I almost forgot what the word was, but I'm going to plug it in, and we will check Facebook and we will check chat. So wherever you are, I promise you we'll check the time it was typed, and the first person to write it in will get the free enrollment. And there's also a bonus I'm going to announce in just a moment as well. So I want you to consider joining hundreds of other students, you guys, that have already gone through this process and are using this functional coaching movement, this investigative approach for getting underneath a problem. We're literally disrupting the health coaching world with this approach. This is a big movement. We no longer want to hand out just cleanses and detoxes and diets and send people on their way. We want to do this in a safe way. We want to see big shifts in people's health. Someday, wouldn't it be great if maybe we were, I want to say out of business. I know you guys are like, no, I don't want to be out of business. But if we were, that would mean that we are making the impact and the difference that we need to make. Doctors and practitioners are going to have more respect for coaches. If that's where you want to go, if you want to work with doctors and practitioners, absolutely, I encourage you to do so. It is possible. I know people working with doctors today, but they want to know that coaches know where they belong. And we want to remember the dietitians and nutritionists too. We don't want them angry with us because we're practicing so-called nutrition and using terminology that steps on their toes. As much as we want people to respect the term health coach, we need to do the same thing in return and honor those who have done the training and the work and invested their time and their money into becoming doctors and nutritionists and dietitians. And this is where I think, you know, I really differ in how I talk to coaches today. I want us to know where we belong, because functional health coaches, they know their lane and they stay there. They stay in it with safe language, safe written words, safe approaches, templates that I'm giving to you, and so much more. All right, so what's it worth to you guys? What is having a successful business worth to you? 5, 10, 25,000. I mean, I've seen some health coaches that are up to $20,000 to $25,000 invested in their practice and they're still not making money. So how much would you pay to get the education, lifetime mentorship, and support that allow you to build that practice that you know you can take that knowledge of yours and have a prosperous practice and make so many big differences in people's lives? But first, hold on a second, because I want you to think about this. If all enrolling in the Institute did for you was give you tools you need to build a vigorously growing health coaching business before earning your certification, would it be worth it? Because you can. Once you get started, you're going to see that you are going to be able to build your business rather quickly. You're going to get the tools for that. You don't have to wait till you get done to get started. So what if all enrolling did was prevent you from throwing thousands of dollars and 6 months of your time down the drain? Would it be worth it? What if you could quit your day job, eventually quit your day job if you're working right now, so you could focus on building this dream job? Would it be worth it? What about giving you that freedom to live the life that you want on your own terms, like I talked about, like I'm doing right now? I love the fact that I can set my own schedule, that I can live my life on my terms. Would it be worth it for you? Do you have small children at home? Do you want to be there for them after school? Do you want to be there to make supper and live a whole food life and have the time to do those things? What about being a part of a movement that's changing lives in a sustainable way, in a huge way, you guys? Wouldn't it be worth it? So other health coaching programs are at least $5,000 or a lot less than that. I'm going to tell you in just a moment, because here's the bonus I was telling you about. Besides the free enrollment I'm giving away, there is free lifetime access to the Health Coach Mentorship and Mastery Group. There's over $10,000 worth of content. There's probably more now because we've added more. And the regular price for that is $9.97. You get access to this group for the rest of your life, and it doesn't expire. It's not going away. When you finish the Institute training, you don't get dropped out of the Mentorship and Mastery Group. You're in there forever until you don't want to be there anymore. That's where I live. I should actually call it my second address, the Mentorship and Mastery Group, because at any given moment, you're going to see me pop on with a training. At any given moment, you might see me pop on with some exciting information about it, someone I'm bringing to speak to them, like Diane Sanfilippo of Balanced Bites. I can't stop raving about her and bringing her to you guys to talk about business in the Mentorship and Mastery Group. So many people, I'm just constantly bringing training and valuable people and experts in to share their knowledge. And the great thing about it is you can attend all the summits and stuff you want. That's fine. You can hop on all the webinars you want. But when I bring experts in and I do webinars within my Mentorship and Mastery Group, my people get to ask questions of those experts. So let's just say somebody, Joe Tata comes in, he talks about pain, and he's talking about, you know, how we can help our clients with pain. If you have a question for Joe, he's going to answer it. I give access directly to those people, which is super exciting. So this offer expires at midnight tonight. And just know that the value of this group never, ever ends. I'm always bringing experts in. If you tell me you need help with something, I'm gonna bring that person to you. And if anyone's on the line that's part of the mentorship group, you guys, you know, speak up and tell people I'm not blowing smoke. This is truly what we do in that group. All right, so the total value of enrolling is $15,000. I've actually hired people that went through my content, and this was last year, and I've added more content since then, so maybe the number's higher, I don't know, but they put a value on this with just content alone. It doesn't even include the time that I invested in creating the Institute, okay? This is just content alone. And the enrollment today is $34.97. So yes, I have payment plans available. Kathy's gonna type in the enroll now link there, the URL in the chat box, and hopefully out there on Facebook too, you can plug that in. We have payment plans available. And you know what? We launched this in the early enrollment, and we were only doing a one-time payment of $34.97 and a two-time payment of $19.97. And we had so much interest and so many people wanting in on this movement that said, you know, if you could just do some different payments, it would really make it affordable for me to be a part of this. I just can't afford that right now as much as I want to. And so we thought, you know what? You've got a need, and our motto is no question goes unanswered, no need goes unmet. We're going to meet your need. And so we took it even further than 6 months, 6 payments. We took it into a 12-part payment plan. So I thought that was extremely reasonable to make this affordable for people who want to get going. You can take as long as you want to finish the course. Most people take about 3 months when they dive head in, but it's self-paced. So even if you're enrolled in another certification right now and you need to finish it up, it's not going anywhere. You get in September 18th when the doors open, and the first live call with me is September 22nd, which I'm on every week unless there's a holiday or a sickness or an emergency. I'm going to be on live answering questions about the Institute. I am the person that created the content. I created it based on experience with hundreds of clients. I am the person that is going to answer the questions and be there for you and support you, no matter what your question is. So here's another bonus thing we're doing for existing coaches that was asked about. Excuse me, I gotta get a drink of tea. Whoa, I can talk, can't I? At an hour and 4 minutes. Existing coaches must email me at support@carmenhunterhealth.com with a copy of your certification or proof of your current enrollment, and I will give you over $1,000 off of the fee, and a 12-month payment plan of $207 per month. Now, this came up kind of last minute. I had talked about this last year, like, you know, gosh, existing coaches shouldn't have to spend, you know, another $3,000, $4,000 to get the education they need to make their business work. I didn't feel like it was fair. I felt like, you know, this is something we need to be fair about. And but we also wanted to meet their needs as well. So this is what we came up with. It is something that I'm probably just going to leave in place as time goes on and we launch in the future, because the doors are going to close. This is not an open enrollment year round. We thought about doing that too, but I really want to encourage and inspire coaches to enroll and get started. Enroll and start making a difference. Don't, you know, enroll and then take your time over the year to learn all of this. It's time to get out there and be a coach today. It is today, right now, when there's people in need. So you have 3 choices. I'm going to go over one more thing with you guys in just a second here, but you can do nothing and forego building your dream health coaching practice, and all you've done is spent an hour on this webinar with me, and I appreciate it again with you being here. I just appreciate it. You can enroll in another health coaching school, but make all of the mistakes or some of the mistakes mentioned on this webinar, because not all schools are the same. Or you can enroll in the Institute today. And there's a $500 tuition offer on the early enrollment. So that is a typo there from the early enrollment, but we threw the bonus in there instead of the $500. We threw the $997 in there instead. We thought it was a much bigger bonus and a much better opportunity for you guys to get the support you need. So minus the $500 here, add the $997 bonus on there to save, okay? That's part of the Mentorship and Mastery group. All right, so the tale of 2 coaches, real quick, as a reminder, we have student A and we have student B. Student A goes to one school where she may get detailed information on a vegan diet, a paleo diet, or a juice fast. She may get information on a done-for-you weight loss program and some tips on blogging and exposure. Then she gets out of school and she says, well, now what? Student B goes to the Institute for Functional Health Coaching. She gets real investigative coaching skills. She works with any client with any condition and never has to turn away anyone by saying, oh, no, that's not my niche, or oh, no, I only work with these people. She can say yes to everyone that comes to her if she chooses. The details are offered on how to build a business online or in-person and daily support from day one. You know, because here's the thing, we already know the benefits of specific food plans, don't we? We know that people should eat Standard American food. We know they should eat vegetables. I mean, come on. We don't need to be told what vegetables are good for us. If we're interested in health, we can learn all that as we go. I mean, it's for real. And we do talk a lot about food in the Institute, but like I said, I'm giving you resources. You can go out to those resources and learn about all of the dietary theories you want. But I'm going to give you exactly what you need to be a health coach. You're going to get those 7 foundations of health. I'm going to teach you how to not use Band-Aid short-term approaches with your clients. We see real results with this approach every single time. When coaches get started in this course, they're already given tools to start their business and learn how to help others. Literally in week 1, I talked to you about licenses, taxes, all of the things websites, all of that stuff. Week 1, most coaching schools that are out there now don't give you any of that. You don't get resources, you don't get steps, you're not going to learn that. They're going to send you out into the world, and then when you come back, they may say, oh, well, we've got this business program. It's $9.97 or it's $12.97. You can sign up for that. You should be given that stuff in the first enrollment. The first time you go to a coaching school, you need everything to get your business started, not afterwards, not after you've learned about, diets and stuff. You shouldn't have to go back and spend another $1,000 to get business tools 6 months later. To me, that just makes no sense. So no waiting 6 months or understanding complicated steps. It's very simple. All right, so yes, it's an investment. Yes, I understand that. As I mentioned, I gave $6,200 out of my pocket to one person just to teach me how to launch a program a couple of years ago. I understand investing, but I also used to have a very, very poor money mindset. So, here's the deal. You can change your money mindset, and you can know that you're worth investing in your business and using that knowledge that you have. You can reach out and get all of your questions answered if you're fearful of that. I understand it because I've been there. I get it, 100% I get it. I have purchased things for $1,200 and then a couple weeks later went and got my money back because I was fearful. And I tell you this, it got me nowhere with my business. So please, Kathy's going to put that link in the chat and on Facebook. If you want to schedule a call, feel free. Absolutely 100% open to talking to you guys about it. Again, there's your link for enrollment, and we have reached the end of the presentation. So again, I'm going to say thank you, and I'm going to go back to the slide real quick and just say thank you to you because I know that your time is valuable, and I do appreciate you being here and spending this time with me. I know that there's a lot going on in our lives today, and I know that what it takes to get an hour out of your time to spend with someone. So I just want to say thank you again for that. So I'm going to go to the chat box, and I'm going to go to the Q&A. I'm just going to scroll up and see if there are any questions so far, and then I'm going to look at Facebook as well. And thanks for all the feedback that you guys could hear me. I just really didn't want to get halfway through, which had happened to me one time, where I talked and then someone said, well, we didn't hear you for like 5 minutes in the middle and then the last 10 minutes. I didn't want that to be the case. So I'm going to stop my share. And I'm going to start my video, and then I'm going to go to the chat because I don't want you guys looking at just a blank screen. And if anybody knows me, I got to have glasses because I can't see a thing. So, all right, so I'm seeing lots of information. Can you get a recording of the webinar? Absolutely. Goes out in the replay as soon as we get done, and I convert the webinar into a video, then my team's going to send it out to you guys. How does your program different from Carrie and Stacy's Health Coach Institute? They're also business-oriented but easy. $6,000, want to know HPW. Oh, want to know how and what I teach differently. So Naira or Nira, that was at 12:30. If you still have a question about how I'm different, it's 1:10 now. That was 40 minutes ago. I shared a lot of information with you. If you're still on, please plug into the question down in the chat. Yes, I still want to know more. Be more detailed with what you need to know. All I can tell you is this, is that I have people from that school come to my school, and not just 1, 2, 3, 10. I have a lot of students that have come from that school that have come to me to learn the art of coaching, to understand what it means to help anyone that didn't get what they needed when they went through the process. Maybe they asked for support and they did. I don't know. I can't answer that question for other people about how specific schools didn't fill their need. I can only tell you that I have students from schools all over the world that already have been certified. They have now come to me and are now out there coaching. So differently, I'm a functional investigative health coach. I just don't believe in, I don't believe in making a client for life. It's something I am very solid in my belief in. I truly believe that there are schools out there that are teaching coaches how to keep people coming back over and over and over again just to make an income. I don't believe in that. I think that if someone comes to me, and this is an example, if someone comes to me and they tell me that they have been diagnosed with IBS, and I know I can lead them in the right direction to get relief, but if I give them that information and in 3 months I know that they're on their way, this has happened over and over. I've had UC, Crohn's, colitis, all of those clients, I've worked with them. What if I had said to them, yeah, so you know what? I can help you. Here's some stuff. And then 3 months later, they're still not feeling well. And then I pull back information so that I can keep taking their money when I know I can help them. Like, to me, that's not ethical. I want them well now. I want them to feel well now so they don't need me. I don't want them to have to come back and hire me over and over again. There's so many people out there that we can make a living on based on that referral process, you guys. Why would we hold back information and try to create a client for life? Now, when you're doing group classes, that's kind of a different idea. So if you did like, for example, if you did a whole food program, and you're teaching a class on a Saturday, and you get, I don't know, somebody signs up $100, you get, 10 people, you make $1,000, and they're like, wow, that was so informative. I love spending that 2 hours with you. Oh my gosh, what else do you have to offer? By all means, have something that you can offer to those people as a follow-up program, of course, but you're not withholding information just to keep them coming back to fill your wallet. And that's not something that I'm willing to do, but some places are doing that. So that's one way I'm very different. I get underneath it, I find out the reason, I help the client understand why it's happening, I let them choose how they want to prepare to make changes, and then they take the action. I don't tell them how to do it. I don't take any responsibility whether they choose the right or wrong plan for themselves or the right or wrong supplement. I just lead them in the direction and say, here are some options, here are some resources I know that work for that problem, condition, or goal. Let me know what you choose to do. I'm here to support you, and that's how we roll, right? And then I help them dig. I get my magnifying glass out. So Evelyn says, I need a system. I have way too many clients. It's great to have too many clients, but yes, you absolutely have to have a system. It is all about being safe, for sure. Let's see here. Yeah, Jill, the curriculum is, and again, it's based on your time. Like, how do you want to learn? Do you want to take extra time in week 1? You want to take extra time in week 2, whatever. But there's action steps, and there's a quiz at the end of each week. But the quiz is really, or the end of each lesson, it's really only to make sure that you understand what we're talking about, how we're going through the process of functional coaching. It's not oh, you didn't get all those answers right, so you don't get to move on. It's not that at all. It's because I want you to feel like you understand. You can take all the lessons in the world, but if you don't understand how to take those out into the world and help people, it's not doing you any good. It's not honoring the work either. So yeah, okay. Yeah, Daniela is so smart. She truly is. Okay, I'm about to announce the word. So you guys ready? It's client. So the word is client. Oh gosh, oh my gosh, here goes the chat box. Boom, it's blowing up. I love it. Oh my gosh, like we had 31 messages and now we're up to 55, just like that. Boom, just like that. Okay, yes, Chris, there'll be a recording if you're registered. And let's see, and don't think I'm not interested in handing out another enrollment too, because I love to give. I just love to give. So let's see here. See, I do this every time. Kathy's always telling me, put your glasses on. I forget they're on my head or they're hanging from my shirt. And yeah, Jill's asking quizzes and tests each week. Just quizzes. Yeah, okay, hold on. Everybody's typing the word safe. I know, right? You guys thought it was going to be, but it's client. It's client. And Kathy's put in the word. Okay, so there you go. You guys have the link for enrollment to look at the sales page and learn more. You have the link to schedule a call. The word of the secret word was client. I'm going to answer a question here from Jen. It says, how do you handle working with people who have multiple things going on, like autoimmune conditions, while you're helping them explore root causes and they discover things like heavy metal toxicity, candida, Like, I'm overwhelmed even thinking about being that person, right? Yes, it takes a while to work for them, but here's how I do it. So this person, let's take this exact client. Someone comes to you and they've got an autoimmune condition. All right, so we know an autoimmune condition can come from 1,000 different things. I mean, 1,000, it's impossible to say, oh, it's because of this. And, someone might say, well, it's genetic. No, it's not. There are genes that are involved in autoimmunity, but it takes a trigger. As we all know, Chris Kresser always says, genes load the gun, but environment pulls the trigger. So what we do is we start by educating about the 7 foundations, which I've shared with you. Most of the time, people are working on 1 or 2, maybe 3 of those foundations. They aren't working on all of them. We share resources with them about the piece that they feel the least stressed out about. So let's say this person says, I'm not sleeping and I need to sleep. Can we work on that first? Because that would relieve so much of my stress. You'd be like, absolutely. Let me get you some resources by Michael Bruce and talk about the power of when for sleep. I'm just making this up, you guys, okay? Tell me what your sleep environment looks like. Well, that's on the intake form. The intake form is 22 pages long. So when you get that intake form filled out with all this information about this client, you're also getting information about how they're sleeping, how they're pooping, how they're relating to people in their life, what they're eating, what they're drinking, how they see themselves, what their relationships are like, what their stress levels are like, have they been tested for adrenal problems. The intake form in the Institute is 22 pages long that you use with your clients. So you're getting all of that. They're going to number the things that feel the least amount of stress for them, and that's where you're going to start. So you would be working on those things a little bit at a time, but I can promise you this. When they start saying, oh my gosh, I turned my clock around, I covered up my windows, I kicked the dog or the husband out, and I'm sleeping so much better, I'm motivated, let's work on something else. That's what starts to happen, because the minute they address something in their life that deals with what a human being needs, they start to feel better. It's inevitable, 100% inevitable. But you're letting the client lead the way. You're going by what they say they need to work on first. And you're providing those resources and that information to them, and they're telling you, this is what I'm going to do, and this is how I'm feeling. And they're taking the lead. They're accountable. So, so anyway, so if it takes a while to work with them, I've worked with these people. I've worked with someone with, she had so much wrong with her. One of them did that she had to turn it over, and she filled up the back page. This is when we were meeting in person years and years ago. So when I say that I've done it, I've done it. I had a client that her thyroid taken out. She had a gastric bypass sleeve done. She had, she was losing her hair. I mean, all of these things going on. And when I approached her with the 7 Foundation, she took the lead, and she changed her food. She started sleeping different. I mean, things started getting better. But there are those people that want their hand held a little bit longer. And that is when you can say, you know what, we're at the end of the 3-month mark. How are you feeling? Well, you know, I think I need a little more time with you, and my labs won't be back until next week. Can we extend this? Of course you can extend it. All of the approaches in the Institute are customizable. You choose how long you want to work with people. You choose how to lay your client intake forms out. Everything's customizable. Take my stuff off, put your stuff in. You know, I mean, it's 100% what you need to do, what you want to do for your practice. I hope that made sense. I hope that was explanatory enough. I have structured my coaching with a 3-month commitment up front, and it works great. Yes. But with more complicated clients, we hit the 3 months, and I'm assuming you hit the 3 months and you still need more time. Yeah. So you just, you just add on some time then, or add on another month, or give them a discount and say, let's add another month on. I mean, that's what you do. You just, again, and to me, it's not, don't be who I am as a coach. I want you to be who you are. I want you to do what feels good to you. I'm just giving you the tools to do that. I'm giving you the safe, reliable, low risk approach to getting underneath these problems with people, approaching them as a human being, staying out of the unsafe lane, and allowing you to shine as who you are, right? So you know, just because I do a 3-month approach and I've had great success with it, doesn't mean you have to do that. You can do 4 months if you want. You can do 6 months if you want. It's totally up to you guys. The whole approach is customizable, and the documents are editable. That word always gets me. Okay. All right. So let's see here. Copy and paste the link. It doesn't seem to work. Post it again. It should work. And you know what? The link's going to go out in the replay too, to schedule a call. I just tested it this morning and it went through. I don't know. Maybe check another browser. Or Kathy, can you, before we wrap up, can you go ahead and put that in again? And see if it works. But Jennifer says, thank you all. This is answering some questions and concerns I had. I went to IIN, to the School of Functional Medicine. It has been amazing, but what you're teaching is sharing and missing a link for me. Yes. Now, I love the Functional Medicine Coaching Academy because they teach something completely different than what I do. I actually taught at their school. Maybe that's where you found me last fall. Taught a lesson about safety in the coaching profession, language, and all of that kind of stuff. And I think that there's a place for all of us in this space. For me, I had to take all the pieces that people weren't getting and put it in one spot, because I felt like we shouldn't have to go from here to here to here to here. We just shouldn't have to do that. We should be getting everything we need in one place, getting the support, the mentorship, and the you know, the so-called health coach love that we need, and get out there and help people. It's not doing anyone any good to be in school for 3 years. Unless you're a doctor, right? Susan says, you work with parents when children have a problem like autoimmunity. Absolutely. One of my biggest success stories is one of my clients that had rheumatoid arthritis from the time she was 4. I was called by her dad, who was in tears, got my name from the gym that I told you about. I did that group coaching from. One of the coaches told him about it. He was in tears, and he said, you're my last hope for my daughter before they try to give her immunosuppressive drugs, which are going to affect her fertility. She's had rheumatoid arthritis. We have to ice her elbows, her knees, her ankles. Every joint has to be iced in the middle of her softball practices. She doesn't get to run like other kids. Like, he was crying. He was miserable. I said, I think I can help you. I set up an appointment. I went out to their house. And basically the whole entire family, we sat down and came up with a plan, and they didn't even take a month to get educated. They took a week. They got educated on everything I gave them. When I sent my follow-up recommendations, game on, that woman was sending me pictures of her pantry and her refrigerator within days. They were cleaning all the toxic stuff out. And by the time our 3-month time frame was up, her daughter, this is the report. I should probably just, I could find the testimonial, but it's probably on my website. I think it is. But it talked, she told me that her daughter went out the front door one day, and she said, "Where are you going?" She's having to go get the mail, and she looked out the window and her daughter was running to the mailbox. Now, we live in the South, and down here we have lots of land and property in a lot of areas. And her daughter ran all the way to the mailbox for the first time since she was little. And she came back with the mail, and she said, "What in the world? Why were you running?" And she said, "Because I can." Because she no longer had to deal with any of the problems. They stopped hauling 3 separate coolers for her joints. The younger daughter who had eczema on her elbows, all of that cleared up. The mom and dad lost weight. The entire family got on board, and the daughter did not end up having to go on any of the immunosuppressive drugs that they were pushing to her. They actually, Kathy's saying, did they just take out gluten? It wasn't just gluten for them. I gave them all the information to make good decisions, and they went full bore autoimmune paleo. But that was their decision. And again, it was me saying to them, these are the things I've found that's worked with my clients. I'm going to give you a couple of resources to explore. Take your time getting educated. This is all up to you. I am not going to make this decision for you. And they said, let's do it. They dumped everything. And mother was making ketchup in a blender because her daughter was a ketchup fan. So she was making some non-tomato ketchup. I mean, you know, they took it and they ran with it. And they took responsibility and accountability, and they were committed to themselves. And I also teach you guys, how do you know when someone's ready to work with a coach? Like, I don't want to work with someone who's not wanting to work with themselves. I did a video on this the other day. If you're not committed to yourself, I don't want to work with you. I'm not going to just take your money just because, you know, you're going to give me $275. If you're not going to take action, that's not rewarding for me. I could spend my time helping people who really want to help themselves. So that's what I do. I also teach coaches, you know, not everybody is somebody that should be a client. So, all right, let me look at this question here. Yeah, you guys are saying, love that story. Absolutely. I mean, she's just one of my, and I follow up with them too. I still love to follow up and say, how are things going? Barry asks, how long have you been teaching the program with your institute? We are on 4.5 years now, I think, since the first time I launched the content. And I think I've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 groups of students go through the institute. And you can see all the people, you know, in the mentorship group. My students are in there. You can ask, I'm wide open. Ask anybody. I mean, you can ask any student you want. What do you love about it? What don't you like about it? What do you need more of? It doesn't matter to me. I mean, I don't want anybody signing up for this if it's not for them. This needs to be something you're ready to do, and you're ready to commit to, and you know, that's something that you feel resonates with you. Maria says, are we going to learn which labs to order, for example, hormonal issues, adrenal, estrogen? Yes, absolutely. I actually have a whole session about how to help your clients have a successful doctor's appointment. You get a document that has the top steps to teaching your client how to have a successful appointment. Put your logo on it. That's value you give your client. I give you a template that has all of the labs laid out that your client may want to ask for. You give them that, put your logo on it, you give it to their client, it talks about their food. It is a document that they can fill out and take to their doctor. And that gives them, to make sure that they have all the questions answered about their labs, everything that they put in their mouth, all the supplements they're taking, so there's no interactions with things. Yeah, I teach you how to do that, 100%. Is this a program you can sign up for any time or only when you launch? Just asking. You said it was self-paced. No, doors closed for enrollment. September the 22nd is the absolute last day you can sign up. Then we are not taking enrollments until we launch again. Yeah, but it's self-paced. Like, once you purchase it, you go in and out of the platform whenever you want. You don't have to finish it by a specific time. The doors are open, just open for you. So you learn at your own pace. You have to order and enroll by the 22nd, but you learn at your own pace. So, okay, let me look at Facebook real quick, and then I think we're good to wrap up unless you guys have any other questions you want to ask. Let me see here. I got to go all the way down. Okay, talking about Mary Louise, and there's people in my mentorship group that are in the path of the hurricane, so I'm praying for you guys for sure. Let's see here. It looked like you guys have some signal problems because I didn't have any other problems. Looked like we had some clear signals. You guys are doing the math for me, 10,800 in a month. Yeah, don't ask me to add. I have to use my 12-year-old son for specifics like that. Sharon lost her day job yesterday. Well, jump in. We'd love to have you. Let's see here. There's a payment plan, Christy. And Christy, you say that a lot. I know that you always say, I wish I could, I wish I could. Turn it into, I'm going to. Because you've been around for a long time, and I know how much information you have and how much knowledge you have. You've been around. We've been friends on Facebook and coaches for a long time. Get that knowledge going. It's time. Let's see here. Thank you, Dory. She says, I'm the real deal. You got it. I'm nothing to hide, you guys. Let's see here. Oh, Connie, thank you so much. She says, I've been with Carmen's classes since the beginning and have done personal coaching, and I can say without a doubt it's worth every penny. If you have questions and need someone who's been in the course to answer, let me know. So reach out to Connie Gogler. She is amazing. She is in the middle of hurricane prep, but Connie is just somebody she's tenacious and she goes after it, and I'm just have high admiration. Amira says, I found Carmen this May and so glad I did. Join the mentorship group as a lifetime member. Yeah, isn't it like the content and stuff? Like, I love to create content. She says the content and quality blows her away. Yes, and I love to hop on, but I'm telling you, I'm creating a course right now about safety. I'm creating another course about chronic conditions. Like, all I want to do is create content for you guys. All right, so the link to schedule the calls, looks like that's all we've got here. People just asking, and then the word client, client, Mary Louise, thank you so much. I love you guys. Okay, all right, so reach out, ask your questions, but just know that there is a deadline on enrolling. I don't want you to miss the opportunity. And, I'm the founder, I'm the creator, I'm the person you're going to be learning from and talking to. I am the one that's going to be here to hold your hand and support you. So reach out to me and ask anything you need. Is the mentorship group only open to class enrollees? Right now it is. Yeah, it's not, we're not launching the mentorship group right now. We want to offer that to students. And we want to make sure that we keep an eye and a finger on that, because we don't want to get to the point where we have so much going on that I can't keep up with it. So it's very important to me that I am personal with my people. So yeah, so it's only open to enrollees for now. Susan says, can health coaching help people that have had major health issues? Absolutely. Someone came to me with breast cancer that had chemo. I actually had a girl, her name was Kelly. I actually share her. She is one of the weight loss people that I share her form. Of course, I keep the confidentiality in there, but I share her form. She had weight loss plateaus. She had chemotherapy. She was on medications for hot flashes. She lost her thyroid. God, what else was going on with her? She had bipolar, I think. But anyway, I teach a lesson around this particular client because she had so much going on, and I teach about how to approach, her situation. So yes, you can work with anyone with any problem, with anything. It's possible. And for people to say that you have to have a niche, I've done a webinar on that too. No niche, no problem. You don't have to have a niche. You don't. You can help anybody, and I can prove it because I've been doing it for years. So for having people, it really discourages me that people are being told that you cannot coach until you know who you're coaching to. Well, if, like I said, I'm going to say it again, if they have a heartbeat, there's someone that can be a potential client, because we're all made the same way, you guys. All human beings need these 7 foundations to be healthy. Why would you give someone an elimination diet? This is an example. Why would you hand them a plan that takes out everything that they love if they are working a high-powered position or a job and they're not sleeping at night because they're so stressed out? And then you're going to hand them an elimination diet and say, in a month, we're going to see how you're feeling. I can tell you exactly how they're feeling. Like, shit. And I try not to cuss, but that's how they're going to feel, because you're not addressing the sleep. You're not addressing the stress. You're not asking them, are you having fun in your life? Remember the 7 foundations. Think about your own self. Put yourself in a position as a client. If you've never been a client, be one for just a minute. Okay? Do you need to have fun in your life? Yes. Are we having enough of it that doesn't include electronics? No, we're not. Are you sleeping great? Are you moving your body in a way that's safe for where you are in your life today? It's not about exercise. It's about safe movement. What feels good for your client today? What feels good for you today? Are you eating whole food? Are you really eating whole food, or are you eating packaged gluten products? Are you dealing with your stress in a way that makes sense? I'm not saying take away the job, the kids, and dump the husband or the wife. I'm saying, how do you perceive stress in your life? How are your clients perceiving stress? Because it's not going away. It's never going to leave. Stress is here to stay. We need to help people understand how to see it so it works for them. Are you dealing with any unaddressed trauma? Well, guess what? We all have it. If you were a child at some point in your life, you went through something traumatic, whether you burned your hand on a stove and you can't move past it, or you were beaten or abused, or something happened to you. We all have unaddressed trauma. And then there's spirituality. I don't care if that's God for you, or Yahweh, or positive energy, whatever spirituality looks like for you. We all have to understand and know that something out there that's bigger than us is out there for us, right? So all 7 of those pieces are really important for us to be healthy, happy human beings, and they're important for our clients too. Doesn't matter if it's just thyroid or just depression. We have to address all of them so we can find out what's really going on. Okay, so let's see here. Thank you so much. Melanie says, everybody's saying I want looking into the program. Great. There's a very, very, very good sales page that my team put together. We try to be as thorough as possible without boring you to death with all the text. So please scroll through and look at the curriculum. Reach out to us. Melanie says this has been amazing. The course sounds incredible. Thank you so much. I've put my life into this course. I have taken everything that I've learned, and all of the pieces of the mistakes that I've made, and all the money that I've put into this business of my own, and I'm putting it out there for you guys to learn from, so you don't do the same mess that I did. Okay, and then so much yes. Melanie says great, good to hear. Yeah, and good to hear about the niche. Yes, absolutely, dump the niche. That's what I say. And if it comes to you later, terrific. Once you've built a thriving practice helping everyone, and you're like, look at all these people, 80% of them have dysbiosis, or 80% of them have rosacea, whatever it is, then you know what? That might be a niche for you. It'll come to you if that's what you want. If you want a niche, it's going to uncover itself, because what you believe in and you feel passionate about is going to come out in how you teach, how you market, how you share. And the next thing you know, you're going to flood your practice with a majority of people, like I did with thyroid. I mean, I was diagnosed with thyroid. The next thing I know, 85% of the people I'm working with have a thyroid problem. So, okay, Jaya, I really want to take your course sometime. I don't think I'm ready now. I'm already overwhelmed with a health coaching program I'm in right now. Well, you just watch the world. It'll be out there. Ads will go out. I don't know when I'm going to offer it again. We're going to open this one up and just roll through and see what we've got going on. But remember, if you're in a health coaching program right now and you're not already health coaching, then you know, we've got payment plans is all I'm going to tell you. So Kim says, thank you. I appreciate you, because I've spent tons of money on mistakes too. Yeah, I think, you know, it's time to quit all that, right? Okay, so the winner will be announced in the replay newsletter that will go out as soon as I convert. Now this whole thing has to be converted into a replay link for you guys, so it's going to take just a little bit of time. I've got a strong signal, hopefully not too long, but watch your email. So if you are registered for the webinar, then you have a chance to win. So and again, I may throw another enrollment out there. Just depends on the day and the mood. So anyway, thanks so much, you guys. I appreciate it. One more check to the Q&A. To get the bonus, oh shoot, here they come. Okay. Yeah, to get the bonus, we can either register online or through an enrollment call. Thanks for this webinar. You have to go through the online link, Joan. Absolutely. You can talk to us on the phone, then you can hang up and click the enrollment call. And if you make the call, let me just be clear. If you make an appointment for the call to talk to someone, and your call isn't until like maybe tomorrow, maybe the spots are full, and you've made the appointment the day of today before midnight, you still get access to the mentorship and mastery group for free. Okay, so if you make your call appointment before 12 o'clock tonight, yes, you qualify. So don't worry. If you can't talk to us today, your call is tomorrow or Monday. As long as you make your appointment today and you express interest today, when you enroll, you'll get that free mentorship and mastery. Okay, we'll make sure of it. Yeah, and yes, Kim, I do talk about absolutely 100% the online business stuff. We cover all of it. That's what the launching and the marketing and the webinars and the how-tos and the group coaching and the business stuff, it's all covered. It's all covered. So, all right, Kathy, I don't know what's going on with the link. Some people are struggling with it. It may be your browser, but the link for making a call is also going to be in your email as well. So don't worry. I'll put it in Facebook. I'll put it in the Clarity group. It's going to be everywhere. If you can't find it, email me, support@carmenhunterhealth.com. Okay? We'll get you what you need. No questions go unanswered. No need goes unmet. You need training with something, you don't see it in the Institute, I'm going to get it for you. I promise. Okay? Thanks a lot, you guys. Kathy, thank you as always. Thank you. Bless all of you. And stay safe, you guys. If you're in any of the places in this country where our weather is just giving us what for, you're in my prayers. I'm going to throw out some good energy for everyone, and just gratitude for all of the volunteers, you guys. Throw it out there, because everything that we say and do, you know, whether you believe in God or you believe in energy or not, I believe that it has an impact. So please make time to pray for others and to give thanks. So, all right. Thanks, everybody. See you later.